Hello, it's my first video back after the summer break. I tend to take most of the summer off with my girls, and I really need to get back into the habit of recording these videos. I've had some great feedback recently about how useful these videos have been to people on my YouTube channel. So we're back in action. There will be a video every week again. And for this first video back, I thought I'd share with you something that happened over my summer. And that was when I spent 10 whole days without a phone. So I'm definitely one who cuts back over the summer in terms of social media, and I don't use it anywhere near as much. It's like my digital detox time. And I didn't purposefully choose, despite what you may assume, to go 10 days without a phone. The reality is I took my phone in the sea at Abersoch in Wales, and I had a waterproof, I say that with inverted commas, a waterproof cover on it so that I could take pictures of me and my family having fun in the sea. And in fact, this picture here was pretty much the last picture I took on that phone. I noticed as I emerged from the water, sounds very poetic, doesn't it? As I got out of the sea and looked at my phone, I noticed that just a tiny bit of seawater had seeped into this waterproof cover. Wasn't bothered at all because I just thought, you know what, iPhones are waterproof now, aren't they? And this is just a tiny little bit of water. An hour later, my phone was completely kaput, not working at all, and didn't work for the rest of our holiday, which in all honesty was great. It meant I had complete switch off while we were on holiday, enforced, but it meant that I could completely switch off. I wasn't taking my phone anywhere. I was very present. I wasn't thinking about, got to get this picture and that picture like I usually would. If I really wanted to get a picture, I'd use my husband's phone to get that picture. So it was actually really nice while we were away to have that complete switch off. Did I feel disconnected? Well, the reality is that I use WhatsApp on my laptop. The reason being that I tend to keep my phone away from me during the working day so that I can get as much done as possible. And so I've set up web WhatsApp, which, by the way, if you haven't done it before, is just web.whatsapp.com on my computer. And I actually had my laptop with me while we were in Wales because I had the odd bit of work I needed to do while we were away. Typical nature of the summer holidays, I'll just do bits of work when I can. And so my laptop was with us, and so I could access WhatsApp. So I could still chat to family and friends. I could let them know I was without phone, but then I could catch up at the end of every day when we were back, and I could look over messages. So even though I was technically disconnected, I actually wasn't, because I had that ability at the end of every day to go onto WhatsApp and respond to messages. But while I was out and about, there was no communication access. There was, other than through my husband's phone who was with me. You know, it wasn't like we were all left stranded without any technology. But I could then go and connect again when we were back after our days out. And we got back from our holiday in Wales, and I just did not feel in a rush to sort out the phone situation. At first, I thought I'm just going to leave it off for a bit. If it's got wet, let's leave it to dry out. Then when I tried to turn it on, it just wasn't happening. So eventually I went into the Apple store, to the Genius Bar, and they told me, this is the end of this phone. If you get seawater in, it's probably the most corrosive water you can possibly get into your phone. And while they are waterproof, that is waterproof for fresh water, not seawater. So they said the chances are that phone will never, ever work again. So after that, after being told that, I still did not feel in a rush. I think it took me about another 3 days before I finally kind of looked into buying another phone, because I was really enjoying the feeling of not being connected and not being plugged in all the time, of still being able to respond to messages, making plans with friends. I was still able to do that. But I wasn't jumping on all the time. I didn't have it with me when we left the house. And actually, for the summer holidays, that was really nice. And something I'm going to consider for the future is just leaving my phone at home and having that level of disconnection, because there's so much power in it. There's so much freedom in it that we don't generally get otherwise. So if that kind of gives you palpitations, the thought of going 10 days without your phone, which for most people, I imagine it absolutely will, because we're so used to being with our phone. So if it really makes you feel nervous, anxious, stressed at the thought of being without your phone, it's a true sign that you probably need to start slowly putting in place actions to allow that to go away, that kind of anxiety of the thought of being away from your phone. So that starts with little things like putting your phone away for an hour. It starts with doing things like leaving the house just for a short walk, or maybe you need to nip to the shops or something, or go and pick up your kids from school, whatever it might be. Try doing that without your phone. All these little bits of like phoneless time start to ease that anxiety and stop it being like your third arm that, you know, like where's my phone? I feel like I'm missing an arm, which you hear so many people say. So try and ease in gently. I'm not suggesting you go, right, yeah, you know what, I'm too addicted to my phone, I'm going to turn it off and leave it in a cupboard for 10 days. I'm not suggesting that at all. I think baby steps always is better in terms of building better habits with our phones. But the word I probably really would align with how I felt without a phone is the word freedom. Do you ever feel like you're tied to someone, like anyone can get hold of you at any time? You don't have that freedom to just be. Also, the other word I would probably use to describe it is present. I was so much more present with my family. I'm not someone who'd sit on my phone anyway when we're there together as a family on holiday, but if I was taking pictures and stuff like that, then obviously I'm slightly distracted because I'm not there in the present. I'm trying to capture that moment instead, probably with multiple images rather than just the one picture to say, this happened, now let's all actually enjoy it. So freedom and being present, they're two things that I would love far more in my life. So it really taught me to do this more, go on days out without my phone, you know, and just enjoy that freedom and that presence that comes from doing that. Let me know in the comments, could you go 10 days without a phone? Could you do it? Do you think you could manage 10 days without your phone? And if you can't, then I highly recommend my course, which is all about reducing your smartphone use. It's not about going 10 days without your phone, but it's about slowly reducing your use so that you improve your relationship with your phone and you get all the wonderful benefits that come from using your phone less. I will pop the link in the description below. Thank you so much. It's great to be back on YouTube and making these videos and talking to a camera and imagining there's thousands and millions of people watching, maybe one day. I will see you again in another video next week. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the subscribe button so that you catch that, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.